having this dialogue between Parker and Rosie, and we're still talking about different types of work or job, right? What did you want to be, growing up?
Oh, when I was a kid, what did I want to be when I grew up? A lot of different things. I think I wanted to be a superhero.
A superhero?
Because I loved watching like Superman and Spider-Man, but I think that wasn't very realistic. So probably like a super baseball player, like a professional baseball player.
Because you were really into baseball, right?
Yeah, I loved playing baseball, and my dream was to become like a huge star.
Oh, I see. Well, I actually wanted to be a gymnast growing up.
So they're both sports related.
Yeah, so I guess we were both into these type of sports.
What happened? Why didn't you end up becoming a professional gymnast?
Well, I don't know. I guess the passion kind of faded after I, started going to high school. So
yeah, I think sometimes as you get a little bit older,
you start to change.
Yeah, you change, and then sometimes things become more practical. So you'll think about things that you might do to earn money or to support your family, and your dreams just die.
Not die.
Just kidding.
I mean, you can say change, right? Your dreams just change.
You always follow your dreams. I think you could still be a gymnast, and I'm going to go start practicing more baseball.
Really? At this age?
Okay, maybe it's a little late for us, but it's not too late for you.
That's right.
Parker and Rosie are talking about their work.
Did you always want to be a hairdresser?
No, but it allows me to be creative. Besides, it helps with my fashion designs.
What? Are you also a fashion designer?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. That's my dream job.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ABC Interactive English. I am Shane.
And I'm Karen. And today we're looking at part B of talking about work. And Parker and Rosie are talking about their work today.
Okay.
Last time they were talking about how their parents met, right?
Right, and also talking about their parents' work, what jobs they did. Right?
You're right.
Okay, so we start off with Parker. Did you always want to be a hairdresser? So we find out that actually she is a hairdresser.
That's right. So a hairdresser basically...
You dress somebody's hair? You put clothes on their hair?
No, a hairdresser just means that you are a hairstylist. You could be cutting, you could be dyeing people's hair or giving them a perm. You put different designs on people's hair. You just style people's hair.
You dress it up.
Yeah.
So it's like to dress up kind of means to make something look nicer or more formal.
That's right, hairdresser.
Okay, so?
And Rosie says, no, but it allows me to be creative. Besides, it helps with my fashion designs.
Oh, interesting. So maybe she likes to do fashion design as well.
That's right. And she mentioned the word creative.
Yeah.
Creative is the first vocabulary word, and it's actually an adjective, right?
Yes.
An adjective, and it just means to use your imagination and then think of different ideas. So for example, I think you are very creative.
Wow, thank you very much. So you think I use my imagination a lot and come up with some interesting ideas?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. Well, besides me being creative, I think you are also very creative.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's the next vocabulary word. Besides just means like also or in addition to.
That's right, on top of, right?
Exactly. So, for example, you can say, besides wanting to be a superhero, I also wanted to be a baseball player.
So that means you want to do both, right?
Exactly.
And that actually looks like the word beside, right? But when you're using the word beside, you're more talking about like the position you're in. For example, like Shane is sitting beside me,
Next to.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's different. Besides and beside.
They're connected to each other, but they're used differently.
Exactly.
And we have another vocabulary word, design.
And this one right here, we're using it as a noun, right?
Okay. So if you design something as a verb, that means that you make something, right? You can maybe draw it or come up with something that you're going to make later.
That's right. It would be really creative, I guess, because if you design something that becomes your design, it's probably not like somebody else's,
Exactly.
right?
So I could say that I really like the design of your dress.
Oh, thank you very much.
It means the way that it's made. And a lot of times we're talking about the creativity, right, of that.
That's right.
Okay, so I
Parker
say,
says,
right, what? Are you also a fashion designer?
The person who, think of different ideas or designs clothes is called a fashion designer, right?
Okay, so are you?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. That's my dream job. Wow.
She says, I'm working on it. So she's working?
No,
Like
she's
what?
working. That means like she's making an effort and trying to do different things so she can get there.
So we'll say I'm working on it means that I'm doing my best to try to
Achieve this goal.
Exactly. So I could say, are you a famous gymnast yet?
No, but I'm working on it.
Oh. Okay.
So if you're working on something that you're taking the steps needed in order to get there, right? Wow, so Rosie is actually quite creative. She's a hairdresser and she also wants to become a fashion designer.
That's pretty awesome. All
So
right,
dream job.
let's take a break and we'll see you after the break.
All right.
That's cool. I work as a security guard during the day, and my nights are for making music.
You're a musician? What instrument do you play?
I play the guitar, and I'm working on putting out my own album.
That's fantastic. I would love to hear you play.
Welcome back, everyone.
Okay, so Parker and Rosie are still talking about the jobs that they do and even jobs that they want to do.
Their dream job.
Their dream job. So Rosie's dream job is?
Fashion designer, and she is working on becoming a fashion designer,
So
right?
that's her goal, right?
That's
her
right.
dream. So Parker says, that's cool. I work as a security guard during the day, and my nights are for making music.
Oh, wow. So actually, Parker is very busy as well.
Yeah.
Right? So in the daytime, he works as a security guard. What does a security guard do?
Usually it's to just watch a place, like maybe a building or a business,
That's right.
to make sure that it's safe there. Maybe that nobody's stealing something, or that if people need assistance, they
Kinda
will
like-
help them.
Protecting the place, right?
Yeah, to be secure means to be protected, right?
That's right. And Parker makes music at night.
So he makes music, so that I guess that he's either plays an instrument or he's a singer, but he's trying to put together some songs. In fact, a lot of people do what Parker does, right? They'll work during the day at a job that maybe they're not that interested in.
That's right.
It might be boring or just something that they can earn some money.
And pay the bills,
Exactly,
right?
or maybe even pay for school or something so that they can achieve their goal later. So in the evening, maybe they'll go to class or they'll practice some musical instrument at night.
Or learn a skill needed in order to achieve that goal, right?
Exactly.
And that's using your time wisely, definitely.
Right.
And Rosie goes on saying, you're a musician? What instrument do you play? Musician is someone who plays music and does it for a living, right?
Ah, that's right.
That's their job. And it says, what instrument do you play? So you mentioned instrument, right? So many people play different kind of musical instrument. For example, the guitar, piano, or the trumpet. How about you? Do you play any musical instruments?
Gosh, no. I can't say I play an instrument. I've learned how to play an instrument in college. I tried to learn how to play the piano, but I was not good at it.
Okay.
And if you put me in front of a piano right now, it will sound like this. It will just be awful.
Well, it takes
about
a
you?
lot of practice. I play just a little bit of instruments, like I play a few, but I'm not very good. I play a little bit of piano.
Oh, okay.
And the flute and, the recorder.
Oh, wow. But you don't play the guitar?
No, I play a little bit of ukulele.
Well, that's like a guitar, basically, right?
It is, but it's easier. I don't really hurt my fingers because the strings are not as hard.
Okay, so Parker says, I play the guitar. And I'm working on putting out my own album.
He's also working on something just like Rosie, right? He's trying to take the steps needed in order to achieve that goal.
Exactly. And his goal is to put out an album.
Oh, so an album is our next vocabulary word, and it is a noun. Right. So an album basically just means a collection of perhaps songs.
Yeah, like similar things, right?
Yes.
So here it's a collection of songs. And if you have a photo album,
then it's a collection of photos or like pictures, right?
Exactly. So what does Rosie say?
Rosie says, that's fantastic. I would love to hear you play.
Yeah, so I don't think she would love to hear me play the piano. I'm sure glad that I'm not the person in this conversation because I'd be really embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed. Everyone is good at different things. But she did mention a word, that's fantastic. Fantastic is an adjective, and I use it actually quite a lot too. It just means that you're describing something as very, very great. Excellent. That's wonderful.
Awesome.
You can say that's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Amazing is another word you can also use to describe this, right?
Right. So when you were younger, when you were learning to play these instruments, did you ever dream of becoming a musician? Like you thought maybe one day you would be a famous ukulele player?
Not really. I guess I didn't think that I was that good. I mean, I knew how to play a little bit, but my skills were not that good.
I think kind of the reason why I wanted to learn to play piano was because a musician that I really, really liked was a piano player.
Really?
And
like
I thought,
a pianist?
Yeah, a pianist. And he was so cool. And I thought, wow, I just want to be cool like him.
That's right.
But then I realized very quickly that I had no talent for music, so I had to drop that dream.
So sometimes you could be inspired by maybe somebody, and then you will have your own dream as well. If you really like a musician, they might inspire you to become a musician, right? So wonderful.
What do you guys want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, you should tell us.
Yeah.
And then before you achieve that goal, you can actually work on something, right? Get a job during the day, and you can still practice your skill at night. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, no matter what, to achieve your dream job, you're definitely going to have to put in the hard work.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
Okay.
And that's all the time we have for today, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Parker and Rosie are talking about their work.
Did you always want to be a hairdresser?
No, but it allows me to be creative. Besides, it helps with my fashion designs.
What? Are you also a fashion designer?
Not yet, but I'm working on it. That's my dream job.
That's cool. I work as a security guard during the day, and my nights are for making music.
You're a musician? What instrument do you play?
I play the guitar, and I'm working on putting out my own album.
That's fantastic. I would love to hear you play.
Hello， 大家好，又见面啦，我是魏宁。首先，今天第一个生字是 besides 副词，此外而且。I don't feel like going out today. Besides, it is raining cats and dogs. 我今天不想出去，而且外面在下大雨。再来呢是 design 名词设计，注意这里的 design 是名词设计而非动词哦。 I really loved the design of the pieces from the 1920s in the antique shop. 我真的很喜欢古董店里那些1920年代的设计作品。那文章中 Rosie 也问 Parker 说 What instrument do you play? Instrument 名词乐器。I only played one instrument growing up. 接下来是 album 名词专辑。The album is at the top of the charts. 那张专辑呢高居排行榜第1名。好，来看一下今天有哪些用语。首先呢是 A allows B to 加动词 ，A 让 B 能够做某件事。Allow 呢是动词，指有可能允许的意思。The teacher allows students to take a break between each class. 老师让学生们在每堂课之间休息一下。再来呢是 somebody works as 加名词，某人的职业为什么什么。As 呢指作为以什么什么样的身份。He works as a chef during the day and is a DJ at night. 他白天是厨师，而到了晚上呢，则是一名 DJ。最后呢是 put out 发行出版，表示呢让专辑、书籍或商品得以在市面上销售。JHL put out his first album in 2000. 周杰伦在2000年发行了他的第1张专辑。Wow, it's been 22 years. That's a long time, isn't it? Anyways, see you guys next time.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen.
I'm Iyin.
We're gonna play a game called Word Drop, where each of us has 3 words or phrases on these cards. We haven't looked at them yet, and we're gonna try to work it into a conversation as casually as possible. So I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. Sometimes when I'm going somewhere, like maybe the movie theater or something, I really don't like, being around people I don't know, because sometimes I could be really uncomfortable. Like you could be watching a very dramatic scene and the person sitting next to you is eating popcorn really loud. So I think you just really need to know who is sitting beside you, It's really important to know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of movie theaters, there are lots of really interesting spaces. I don't know if you saw the one in Showtime, one in the movie theaters. They just renovated everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it's completely new. I think it's 3rd to 5th floor or whatever. But I just love the interior design of it all. It's gorgeous.
I haven't really noticed that, but it seems like you have a lot of experience in looking at interior design and stuff. I mean, I guess you have an eye for art. Maybe you've done stuff in the past. I don't know. I don't really know much about you. Maybe you've worked as an interior designer. Has that happened before?
I love interior design. I have not worked as an interior designer, but I'm so captivated by just colors and shapes and composition a lot. I think that's why also I love film. I just love how you can juxtapose different shapes and sizes and colors together and really create a mood for it, But for interior design, I think you really need to put out a grand scheme of how you're gonna just separate all the different spaces.
I just don't know how they do it, because I am not very good with that. I feel like if I was an interior designer, I'd be like, you get white walls, and that's all you get. There's just so many things that are involved, so many different instruments.
There are a lot of instruments in interior design. I think sometimes there are more instruments, though, when you are recording an album. Because that's when you have tons of different musical instruments that you would use, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That is true.
I played the violin when I was growing up.
Good for you.
Yeah.
See you next time!